Hello, my dear students. Good afternoon. So, we discussed in previous test for aldehydes and ketones. So, first, I was given first to identify carbonyl compound. How to identify carbonyl compound? For carbonyl compound, when you add 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrogen, if you get orange red precipitate, then the given compound is carbonyl compound. Later on, the carbonyl compound is aldehyde or ketone, we have to test. Okay, so who will give positive test with weak oxidizing agents like Tollens reagent, Fehling solution and Benedict solution, and one more Skiff's base. So yesterday I was given test with Tollens reagent and test with Fehling solution. Okay, so what I was given, aldehydes gives positive test with Tollens reagent like silver mirror. What is Tollens reagent? Ammonical silver nitrate. Tollens reagent is somewhat oxidizing agent, means somewhat strong. Weak oxidizing agent only, but somewhat strong comparatively. These Fehling and Benedict actually. So Tollens reagent oxidize both aliphatic aldehydes as well as aromatic aldehydes. But Fehling solution and this Benedict solution and Skiff's base, they won't oxidize aromatic aldehydes actually. So this is one of the most important what is the difference between Tollens reagent and Fehling and Benedict. These are very weak oxidizing agents, this Benedict as well as previously what we discussed Fehling solution. So understood? So ketones will never reduce by either Tollens, Fehling, Benedict or else the Skiff's reagent. This is very clear. Ketones are very less reactive towards oxidation. Got it clearly? So here next Benedict solution. So what is Benedict solution? Here I was given copper sulfate solution and citrate ions. What is citrate ion? Citric acid I will give you later on. So mixture of these two is called Benedict solution. These two means copper sulfate and citrate ion. The citrate ion act as complexing agent. So it will mix actually. So aldehydes when react with the Benedict solution gives brick red precipitate, but ketones with Benedict solution no brick red. So once you take a compound, you added Benedict solution in a test tube. If you got a brick red, you can see that brick red precipitate, right? So if you got that brick red precipitate, the unknown compound is aldehyde, you can say. If the brick red precipitate not formed, then that is ketone, you can say. Because how you can say that is ketone? Previously you got 2,4-DNP test. Okay, whether the aldehyde is aliphatic or aromatic, how to say? With Fehling and Benedict, the aromatic won't give brick red. Which kind of aldehydes will give? Only aliphatic aldehydes with Benedict solution or aliphatic aldehydes with Fehling solution gives brick red precipitate. This is very clear. So like this actually, same RCHO and copper 2 plus ions like CuO like that, copper sulfate with this CuO will form and Cu2O will form. But in general I am writing like this. So here RCOOH you will have oxidation, okay, so plus Cu2O like that, okay. So how it will be like CuO 2 moles if you taken Cu2O RCOOH like that you are having. So here what is the important thing? Copper oxidation state changes from +2 to +1. This is cupric. What is ic? This is as, cuprous. So copper undergone reduction, so oxidation, aldehyde undergone oxidation. So RCHO become RCOOH actually. So clarity you have or not? Once again, so for my satisfaction, what is the difference between Tollens and this Fehling and Benedict? Tollens reagent will oxidize both aliphatic and aromatic aldehydes, but this Fehling and Benedict solution oxidize only aliphatic aldehydes, because they are very much weak oxidizing agents. Ketones will never be oxidized by these kind of weak oxidizing agents like toluenes, phenylene, benedict, and one more Schiff's base. So here the most important thing you have to remember, copper oxidation state, how changing, who is undergoing oxidation. Come to next fourth reagent, total four. I repeat, don't mind and don't feel bored. Toluenes, phenylene, benedict, and Schiff's fourth one. So Schiff's base is what exactly? It is an aqueous solution of magenta color or pink colored rosanilin hydrochloride. Pink color actually. Schiff's reagent is also called Schiff's base, is in pink color actually. Okay. For this Schiff's base, if you add sulfur dioxide, if you add what? Sulfur dioxide, actually this pink color, no, previous Schiff's base is in pink color or magenta color actually. For that, if you add SO2, it will be decolorized actually, means it loses its color. Understanding what I am saying? For Schiff's base, if you add sulfur dioxide, it decolorizes, means Schiff's base natural color is pink. When you added this sulfur dioxide, interestingly, pink color will disappear. So that will be decolorized, means no color actually, colorless. It become what? Decolorized means actually colorless after addition of SO2 to whom? This Schiff's base. But if this solution means Schiff's base plus SO2, this decolorized solution is there, no? For that, if you add aldehydes for that, if you add this Schiff's base, okay, which consists of sulfur dioxide, actually it's a colorless, but it restore its pink color. That is the most interesting thing. So you don't know actually compound given, and 2,4-DNP you added 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine, so you got orange red precipitate, and later on you have a confusion whether that is aldehyde or ketone. So I was added for that particular compound, I was added this Schiff's base along with SO2, which is in colorless. But once this particular mixture when added to aldehyde, Schiff's base color again it restores, means pink color will come again. Sorry, got it everyone? So these are tests for aldehydes and ketones actually. So now we have to discuss a few more actually. So have to write all these things. So understood everyone? Schiff's base color is what? Pink. When added SO2, what happens? Decolorized, means become colorless. But once this colorless mixture for this, if you add aldehyde, I don't know whether it is aldehyde or not. After addition of that particular substance, if pink color again came, then the compound is aldehyde. Ketone with this mixture, restoration not possible. The pink color will not come again if it is ketone. If it is aromatic also, pink color will not restore. So very important. So write down all these things. Next we will discuss two more or just reactions which are very important for us. Then we will enter into carboxylic acids actually. So you know one thing already, addition of chloroform to aldehyde or ketone. Okay, so what happens? Addition of chloroform, addition of what? Chloroform to aldehyde or ketone actually. What happens? You know this already, chloroform properties at that time I was given. Suppose if you have this CH3 C double bond O H, for this CHCl3 when I was added, so I told this already, CCl3 minus and H plus actually. So this CCl3 minus, if this bond migrating towards oxygen, oxygen gets minus charge and carbon gets plus charge. So CCl3 minus will add on here, this oxygen O minus will take this H plus, O minus H plus, OH. So what will be the compound there? CH3 and C and OH and CH, CCl3. You can give IUPAC name like that, 1 and 2, 3 actually. Okay, so it is like alcohol now, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you can say, 1 comma 1 comma 1, it's a propane 2-ol, you can say. For ketone also same thing happen like this, CH3 C double bond O, CH3. For this, if you add CHCl3, what happens? You can write. Same story. So here this will migrate and CCl3 minus and H plus will add. So CCl3 minus on this and O minus H plus. So here you are having product like CH3 and OH and CH3 and CCl3 like this. Okay. Now you have to take this one 1, 2, 3 as mean, because 3 chlorines are there, no. However, you will get 2 only, 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3. But chlorines are there, no. So least preference you have to give possibility. So 1, 2, 3 like that you have to give, and you can say name 2 methyl and 1 comma 1 comma 1 trichloro propane 2-ol like that you can say. So this is addition of chloroform to aldehydes or ketones. Okay, so this is one. Have a screenshot and write down please. Okay, sir. So next we have to discuss about one more most important thing, that is polymerization. Polymerization, actually very important. Polymerization of aldehydes. Okay, so actually acetaldehyde, if you take like this, CH3 CH, actually CH no, CH3 CH double bond O like this, 3 moles when you taken, and you added sulfuric acid at slowly, means acidic medium, HBr like that also you can use. Acid medium is required, and at room temperature like this 25 degrees Celsius you will have like this O what is this? See, CH3 CHO, CH3 CHO, CH3 CHO. Actually this is called paraldehyde. What is this? Paraldehyde. Okay, so this is very important, paraldehyde. Okay, so if you take 3 moles like this, so you can understand, see this, CH3 CH double bond O, and here CH double bond O and CH3, and here see this, CH double bond O, CH3. So how many moles I was taken? Acetaldehyde 1 mole, CH3CHO, CH3CHO, same reaction. Just for understanding and for having more clarity, H2SO4 at 25 degrees Celsius, what happened? I am showing here. See this bond coming over here. Polymerization means all 3 will combine. So this pi bond will come over here, means between oxygen and this carbon you will have a bond. Between oxygen and this carbon you will have a bond, and this pi bond will migrate over here. That means what you have? So here CH3 and CH, single bond O, and here CH, CH3, and here this double bond O become single bond O, and CH, this one CH and CH3. Understanding everyone? So between these two there is a new bond, and here it will be oxygen, and there is actually previously double bond, but pi bond migrated, so CHO, and here you will have like this. So what you have? CH3CHO, CH3CHO, and CH3CHO. Okay. Naming IUPAC name also you can give, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6. Actually 2 comma 4 comma 6 trimethyl 1 comma, actually oxygens you have now 1 comma 3 comma 5 at those positions you have oxygens. So oxygens, that's it. Okay, so very important. This is IUPAC name and this is only called paraldehyde. Very important. What is this? Paraldehyde. So acetaldehyde, 3 moles I was taking. But this is the general reaction. 3 moles of acetaldehyde with acid like H2SO4 or else HBr like that, you are having paraldehyde. What is this? Paraldehyde. Para means actually 3. Para means not ortho, meta, para. Paraldehyde is called. 3 moles of acetaldehyde can react. Why I am saying 3 moles, 3 moles, 3 moles? If acetaldehyde you taken 4 moles and the temperature reduced to minus 10 degrees Celsius, then metaldehyde you will have. So here how many moles you have? 3. But there 4. Understanding everyone? You can check here. See, you have a screenshot first, but I will write now like this. See, this is one CH3CHO1, CH3CHO another, and CH3CHO third. So these are the new bonds actually. 1 and 2 and 3. Got it? So this is actually paraldehyde. And how to get metaldehyde? Let's see now. Now you take 4 moles actually. Okay? So very important, this one are metaldehyde and paraldehyde formations. Okay? Because in polymerization, polymers chapter we have actually, there it is helpful. So that's why I am telling you. Now if you take 4 moles like this, 4 moles of CH3CHO you taken and same sulfuric acid or else you take an hydrogen bromide like that acid and you used minus 10 degrees Celsius. In Kelvin also they will ask temperatures, please remember, at 25 degrees paraldehyde, minus 10 degrees metaldehyde. And now you are having this actually. So like 4 oxygens you can put like this, 1, 2, but alternatively you have right now. So oxygen and CH and CH3 you have, and here oxygen CH3CHO and CHO and CH3. How many written? CHO here, right? And CH and CH3 and one more like CH and CH3. 4 I written, but where oxygen? Here. Yes. Now 4 I have right now. So here CHO, CH3CHO, CH3CHO and CH3CHO and one more I have right. Then you will have like this and CH, CH3 and between these two one oxygen like this. So how many you have? CH3CHO, 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 CH3CHO like that. Okay, this is called actually metaldehyde. What is this? Metaldehyde. Okay, so you can write like this. See, CH3, CH double bond, CH3, CH double bond, and CH and CH3 double bond, and CH and here like this, CH double bond O and CH3. So 4 moles I was taken. See, this or this both are same. CH3CHO, 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 CH3CHO. Both are same actually. What will come? This will migrate over here, double bond. This pi bond migrate over here. 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 So same you write down like that. CH3 and CH. And here one oxygen. And CH. Correct? And here CH3 and O and CH. Okay. And here you have CH3. And here you have what's that? Sorry. Yeah. This oxygen you have now. Oxygen. And you have here CH. And here CH3. And here you have oxygen like this. So this methane is like this. So see this CH3CHO, 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 CH3CHO. 4 now. Got it? This is called metaldehyde. Like this in previous, you can write IUPAC name also. So 1, no, sorry. So anywhere from oxygen you can start. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 like that. So actually positions you have taken. What positions you have? For oxygens you are giving number. Do you understand here? So that is very important. So like that you have say 1, 3, 5 like that. Oxygens. Okay. So these are the oxygens actually. So you can start 1 like that. So methyl groups, what positions you have? Like that you can say 2 and 4, 6 and 8 tetramethyl, tetraoxide, like that you have. So these are about aldehydes and ketones actually. Understood sir everyone? Please note it down. So this is about the metaldehyde formation. What is the temperature required? -10 degrees. How many moles? 4 moles actually. So this is about how metaldehyde will form and paraldehyde will form. So next we have to start carboxylic acids. What is this? Carboxylic acids actually. So carboxylic acids means having what functional group? Everyone you know this is functional group COOH, and this is also called oic acid. What is this? Oic acid actually. Understanding everyone? And carboxylic acid derivatives you know, for this actually you have C double bond OH. This is called oic acid actually. But this C double bond O, if you have halogen, okay, oil halides. C double bond, what is this? Oil halide actually. C double bond O, NH2 you have, that is amide actually. C double bond O, C double bond O. Okay, what is this? C double bond O, C double bond O. C double bond O, OR otherwise. C double bond O, C double bond O, OR. What is this? Ester. And C double bond O, C double bond O, R. Like this given. What is here? R. R means what? Alkyl groups. Carboxylic acid. If OH replaced by some X, what is X here? Some fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine like that. Okay, oil halides. NH2. In place of OH, we have NH2. That is amide. In place of OH, OR, ester. In place of OH, you have this entire group. OCOR. That is what this is called? N-hydride. What is this? N-hydride. So simply IUPAC names if you want. So I told you the preference of groups, order of preference, which is more preferable functional group, which is least preferable functional group I was given, and COOH has highest preference after SO3H. So I was given, do you remember this? So COOH group is attached to carbon chain. The COOH group must have lowest number possible, least number possible. Understanding what I am saying? So first, prefixes, any two types of prefixes. One is primary prefix and secondary prefix. So primary prefix and secondary prefix, and then root word, and then what you have? Primary suffix, and then oic acid. Oic acid. This is IUPAC name of whom? IUPAC name of carboxylic acid. IUPAC name of what? Carboxylic acid. Primary prefix like substituent. Okay, substituent. This one you know, cyclo we use. Root word means you know, Root word means ether, prop, but, like that. Primary suffix everybody know, whether it is in, in or else in, like that used. Got it clearly? So IUPAC names you can write for these kind of carboxylic acids because highest priority no, and carbon must have number. COOH you have here. Okay, so here functional group itself has a carbon, so you must give number to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. Even you have some here C double bond O H you have, and here nothing actually. So like this you have. So what you can call it now? 1, 2, 3. See, aldehyde group is there, CHO is there, COOH is there. But still, this can be now formyl. Okay, but here also you must give number actually. Okay, so 5 formyl, okay, and pentanoic acid, like this you have to give names. If some hydroxy groups are there, same manner actually. So actually C double bond OOH is there. Least number possible because this COOH is a functional group and it has a carbon, so you must give number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhere here you have OH. So now you can call it as 4 hydroxy pentanoic acid. Like this you can give naming and numbering also. Now some dicarboxylic acids I will give you now. Please note it down all these things just today introduction itself, and tomorrow I will give you preparations and all. Okay sir. So very important, please note it down all these things because nomenclature also they are asking in our NEET exam. So please write down everyone. So very important. Aromatic also I will tell you later, but I will tell you some dicarboxylic acids. Some dicarboxylic acid with the difference of number of CH2 groups. I will give some acids like OMS gap, GAP, Ohm's gap. Please remember. So Ohm's gap means first one is oxalic, first word actually, first letter actually, O, oxalic acid. Oxalic acid means like this, COOH and single bond COOH actually. Okay, so next malonic acid. What is this? Malonic acid. So malonic acid means COOH and CH2 COOH actually. So what is the difference between first one is oxalic acid and second one is malonic acid, malo. Okay, so COOH. What is the difference here? COOH. Here also you have the same. Here also you have COOH. But what you have extra? CH2. So this CH2 groups increases in these SGAP. Okay, so here no CH2 group, oxalic acid. One CH2 group, malonic acid. Two CH2 groups here in middle, succinic acid, like that. Okay, so next third one is, what is the third one? Third one is succinic acid actually. So this have like this. So CH2 COOH and CH2 COOH. See what is the difference between this and this? You can write like this, same manner. See, COOH and CH2 twice COOH. Both are same, na? See, this one and this one. Both are same or not? Otherwise, few people will write like this. COOH, CH2 twice COOH. Both are same. This. Both are same. Understand? So you have no need to write like this or else like this. You can represent and you can represent like this and you can represent like this. So this is about the third one. Okay. Next, fourth one, glutaric acid. So glutaric acid means 3 CH2 groups. So like this I write actually. CH2 and CH2, COOH, and here, yeah, CH2 and CH2, COOH actually. Yes, three you have. Glutaric acid, CH2COOH, CH2 only, don't write COOH here because these are what I said, dicarboxylic acid. How many COOH groups will be there in dicarboxylic acids? Two. Here two, here two, here two. Next, fourth one or fifth one is adipic acid. What is that? Adipic acid. This glutaric you can write like this now. COOH and CH2 whole thrice because CH2 three times you have, and COOH you have. Okay. So adipic acid means now you can write like this. CH2 you have COOH and CH2 and CH2 and CH2 COOH. See what happened? The number of CH2 groups will be increasing or not? Adipic acid. So CH2 four times you can write like this now. COOH, COOC, don't call it like that. COOH and CH2 four times and COOH. Here no CH2. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Next, sixth one, the most important. Sixth one is palmitic acid. Palmitic acid. So I have no need to write, I think so, but still I will write the COOH and CH2 five times and COOH. So in this manner also you can write, or else like this you can write COOH and CH2 five times COOH. You will laugh actually, but because this is an horizontal and this is a vertical manner. So that's it I written. And from this succinic acid you have few more actually. Okay, if you have a double bond here, okay, so if you have OH here, like that you have different carboxylic acids, and those also I will tell you. But this is the introduction, and tomorrow I will continue class, and tomorrow I will give you preparation.